Alrighty, here we are yet again for the mobile revenue data. And as we all know, all of it is kind of BS. The numbers aren't quite correct. However, what's interesting with this kind of stuff, even though it is kind of a load of crap most of the time, is it's interesting to see the trends. So on average, how your game kind of does. Is it up by a nice amount? Is it down by a nice amount? It's interesting to see for those kinds of numbers. Now, obviously, there might be some personal bias involved with making this website, or with me as well, obviously. But still, it can be interesting to see what's going on. I guess we're gonna probably see Tribe 9 at number 1 on the list. Hopefully, you know, I bet it's hanging in there. Let's see what happens. Ooh, okay, never mind. My goat Tribe 9 not doing so well. They made 2,000 bucks. I didn't even know you could spend money anymore, but that's a rough one. Hegan, I don't know how you are still here. And One Punch Man World, like, how are these games even still here? But we can start moving through this stuff a little bit faster. I'm pretty sure this is a new game. Wow, Blue Exorcist did not do too hot. Turns out making really older shonen series into a gacha that no one remembers isn't a good idea. I believe this game just end of serviced, and some of these other ones probably did. Wow, Astronauts of Veta, poor people. Some of these games are just gray. They probably just don't even have the numbers, I'm gonna be honest, and also they have PC clients. You have to keep in mind PC clients are always gonna make the numbers a little bit wrong. Let's see, what do we got here? Guilong Chao, that's a Chinese only game. I've been playing Devil May Cry. Ricci City, I don't know if they just added it to the list or if it's actually new, but it's a mahjong game, probably not making a crazy amount of money. Memento White Shadow. This game was very, very low budget and wasn't doing that well in Korea. Came out globally, and well, it's still not doing amazingly, but it's doing better than before, I suppose. This is Black Beacon. Now, if you guys remember, Black Beacon pissed off a lot of players with its launch. Kind of killed all of its goodwill in the West, essentially. And I know the West doesn't really make the most amount of money for gacha games, but still, it's not a great look. They really killed themselves, shot themselves in the foot for no reason, because they gave out a bunch of compensation only in China and then not to the West, and had to take a long time before they did that, which was not great. Haven't even heard of Mirren Star Legends, but it seems to be a bit smaller. Break My Case, Ash Echoes, Lost Sword. This game is only in Korea. This is that game that when you beat somebody up, their clothes rip off and they fall on the ground. Great game, by the way. Can't wait for its global release. Tower God New World, it used to make a good amount of money, but then they messed the game up and pissed players off. Tower Fantasy still hanging in there, still doing fine. Guardian Tales, I think this game deserves a little bit more than what it gets personally. Snowbreak, they actually recently screwed up really hard, started banning any criticism against them on like the subreddit and other stuff, started blacklisting content creators. There's been a whole lot of stuff going on with Snowbreak recently that sounds really bad. And I'm not sure if this number reflects that or if it's just a bad month for them as per usual or something. Maybe you go up and down, but not great for them. Let's see, Bleach Brave Souls still hanging in there. I kind of feel like when you see a gray number, it's not because it's the exact same, but because they didn't really have good numbers for it. That's how I like to think about it. Marvel Mystic Mayhem just came out like a couple of days ago, so this number might be completely false for all we know, or maybe it just didn't make a crazy amount of money, but it's kind of like an auto battler game like AFK Journey as far as I know. Aether Gazer somehow went from 172,000 to 700,000, which is actually an insanely impressive boost to go up that much, more than 3 times, like 4 times boost. I don't know what they did, but that's very impressive. Let's take a look. Sort of Convalare hanging in there, same developer as Ethereal Restart. We haven't seen Ethereal Restart yet either, so it's not down here. We're starting to get into the millions finally. We got Mahjong Soul making 1/3, probably just had a collaboration, it probably ended. It's actually a decent game though, I think. Persona 5 Phantom X, wow, that is way lower than I would have expected. I'm not sure what the cutoff for the Sensor Tower report was, but that's still kind of surprising that would happen. Well, so people don't actually hate Persona 5 Phantom X or anything like that, but it never seems to make a lot of money, even though you would think it's super popular. I've also heard it's incredibly free-to-play friendly, supposedly. Over a long period of time, people are able to get every single character free-to-play. That's what I've heard. but I'm not 100% really sure about that. Well, we'll have to see. Okay, we got Trickle Revive? Dude, Persona 5X lost to Trickle Revive, the GOAT. It's only in Korea, too. I'm playing this game on launch. I already pre-registered. I'm playing this on launch. It's only in Korea. That is insane that at Trickle Nation, number 67, that's crazy. That's actually crazy. Path to Nowhere. Oh, Limbus Company? Okay, it's still showing the same amount. It makes a lot of money on PC. I think the CEO said the majority of their money is from PC, which kind of makes sense. Oh my god. Epic 7? Epico 7? What happened there? Holy crap, half revenue. Jesus. That's like not the best, but all right. I think it's because all the players use currency conversion stuff and say they all live in Turkey and then get like 70% off. Yeah, also Ethereum restarts out. I wonder if that did it. Wizardry. Oh, my goat took a huge hit. Ow. I mean, I guess there wasn't really much going on, so I'm not surprised. But they're about to have a huge banner, so that's gonna change everything, surely. Surely, this next big banner. Okay, PGR, Summoner's War, I don't know what Love Rush Chronicle, what is some of this stuff? Dude, Soul Loving Arise, bro, Sung Jin Woo is gonna keep falling. Ain't no way Sung Jin Woo stays around for that long. This game is not it, dude. No way. Okay, Silver and Blood, wow. Dude, I swear Silver and Blood was like really low budget and nobody was talking about it, and it's doing better than Persona 5 Phantom X, which I feel like had way more people talking. Yeah, no marketing, nothing. It came out the same day. Well, actually, it had marketing for like streamers and stuff, but like, that's crazy. Yeah, I have like a sponsor coming up for it. I think the art style is really good, and the story seemed interesting. The gameplay is kind of more just like an AFK Journey kind of thing, but that's actually really surprising. Meanwhile, AFK Journey dropped a bunch, the game that kind of plays similarly. That's really interesting. Girls Frontline Exilium, holy crap, 50% decrease. Oof. Damn. One Piece Ambition, is this the one with the really good cutscenes? I think what you'll notice is new gacha games don't make crazy amounts of money unless they have insane hype around them. I think things have changed a lot. Things have really, really changed. Memento Mori is doing better than most of these games. That's crazy. Memento Mori is still hanging in there. The game with no gameplay, just pictures. That's insane. Dokkan Battle falling really hard. That's kind of surprising it's this far down. Infinity Nikki's still free falling because the game abuses its players with horrible tactics non-stop. Like, I remember the thing with Infinity Nikki, they're like, yeah, so you bought this thing and it doesn't work. Have you considered just like logging in more and getting more currency? Bro, they're insane. Like they literally took down the servers and people's monthly packs wouldn't give them currency every day, and they're like, not my problem. Okay, Brown Dust 2. Brown Dust 2 popped the hell off with its summer. Oh my god, dude. The summer event in Brown Dust 2 went absolutely insane. Holy, that's crazy. Yeah, and Solid Star is, it's half the amount, but that's still a lot of money. That's doing pretty well. Apparently 2 to 3 days of earnings were not recorded for this month, so everything is a bit lower. Understandable. I missed Blue Archive. Well, I didn't have too much to say about Blue Archive because Blue Archive has kind of just been in a rut, not doing amazingly for a while. I heard a lot of players were disgruntled in more recent times, and it hasn't really been as big of a thing, I feel. Yeah, I guess the Steam release maybe will up that a bit though. 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, I can't believe this game still makes money. Genuinely, they had a collaboration with Solo Leveling. Okay, bro. I can't believe this game is making this much money, bro. Really? 7 Deadly Sins in 2025, dude? Azure Lane, half the amount. It just depends on how many skins it released. Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade is chilling. They're doing great, honestly, for an IP slop gacha. They're still doing that well. I can't believe it. Omnyoji, somehow $30,000 difference. Reverse 1999. You know, honestly, this amount is like pretty damn good. I don't think they need like crazy budgets and stuff, and 10 million was kind of a lot. I think they're doing great. Hatsune Miku Colorful Stage. Still hanging around the same amount. I like that game. I think it's good. Idolmaster, Summoner's War. Oh my god. You know what? Ethereum Restart 7 mil? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Releasing a PvP gacha in this current landscape and making this much money? Honestly, I actually think that's pretty good. They did tons of advertising. It's basically like you gotta spend money to make money. They did so much advertising and I think it worked. I guess we'll see if it continues though. We'll have to find out if it continues. Yeah, it beat Summoner's War by $4,750. Okay, let's be honest. Who knows which one is more accurate? Also, this doesn't count PC. It's only global. I don't know if Summoner's War, I think they just might combine everything, but this is China, global, Japan, I think. I'm not really sure how it works actually. But either way, like, Ethereum Restart 7 million, pretty good. We're almost at the top 20. Battle Cats, the GOAT Battle Cat. I still need to play this game. I know I'm gonna love Battle Cats. Okay, Arknights, holy crap, 33 million to 8.6. This is how Arknights goes. They have a big banner or they have something else like that and they suddenly just explode with how much money they make. It doesn't mean end of service. It just means it's going back to what it normally is, but it always shoots up all the time. Puzzles and Dragons, One Piece Bounty Rush. Okay, there's always gonna be some One Piece game high up. Cookie Run Kingdom. Dude, this game makes so much money for making a game about cookies. You really wouldn't think that a game about cookies would make this level of revenue, but it actually does. It's honestly shocking. Umumusume Pretty Derby, the GOAT! The new release. Oh my god. It made about the same exact amount. But you know, the reason why the number isn't higher is because they took this number and snapshotted it before Lakari started playing. So it's a way different number now. But realistically, this game has made like $2 billion in Japan. So like, I think they're fine on money, guys. Like, this game was making hundreds of millions of dollars in the past. And who knows how much it's actually making now. So yeah, $2.5 billion. I think they're probably chilling for a while. Yeah, no good banners maybe. Monster Strike, Light and Night, Dragon Ball Legends, Shadow. Wait, this counts? This counts as a gacha? It made 17 million? And that's not including Steam, PC. Dude, I didn't know Shadowverse would even count. I mean, I know it's a card game, right? So it basically is, but damn. All right, dude, Cygames raking in the dough. They got Umusume, they got Shadowverse, they got Granblue. Okay. So we're coming up on the top 10. Let's see, number 11. Oh. That wasn't supposed to happen. What the hell? What was the recent banner? I think, like, did they have anything going on? Cypher. Damn, I like Cypher too. I mean, realistically, isn't everyone going to save for Finon and the collaboration? Like, I feel like most people are probably saving. But at the same time, even if people are saving, sometimes Honkai Star Rail has some of the worst patches known to mankind, and they still make more than this. So then, like, why the hell is it not higher? Like, they literally sometimes make the worst patches. It'll be a patch of, like, some garbage rerun, and they make more. So, like, I don't know, that just seems weird. I'm kind of surprised that they wouldn't make more either way. It's a very meta-driven game. Why is it meta-driven? For what? But the end game, like, that's the meta? Like, who cares? There's no PvP. Why do people care about meta? I don't really get it. Look, I'm gonna be real. If I was playing, I would have been contributing to the Cypher banner because I liked Cypher's design, but I don't even play the game. But it's meta-driven though, whether you agree or not. Yeah, I just think that's so crazy. Wow, I'm kind of shocked that it would be not even in the top 10. I know that the collaboration and Finon are coming, so obviously a lot of people are saving, but I'm still surprised that it got edged out of the top 10. Yeah, it's probably gonna make a lot of money next month though. Bro, Fate fans, look, if I've learned anything from Fate Grand Order, it's that Fate fans do not care about debt or other expenses at all. They are totally down to spend all of their money on trash. In Fate Grand Order, people would do that all the time. So, bro, this is gonna be an easy, like, number one. Like, Fate fans, bro, they are absolutely maxing out Saber, Archer, and both their light cones 1,000,000%. I already know that this. If I would say, if Honkai Star Rail on this list doesn't make at least like 120 million, they failed. That's my opinion, because when I've seen Fate fans, like they should be going crazy. If they're not making like 120 mil next month, then something went wrong. That's my feeling. Just that's what I'm just calling it right now. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would be surprised if it didn't make at least that much, just even on this list. Obviously it's gonna make more than that, but okay, let's look at number 10. SD Gundam G Generation. Yeah, this is a new game that came out. It's like a little strategy game with Gundam. I don't know much about it, but it seems to be pretty popular. I initially saw a trailer for it and it didn't look like much, but it seems to be doing well. Ooh, Nikkei at 22 million. This is from the collaboration with, let's see, it's Nikkei and Stellar Blade. Yeah, they're collabing with themselves. Looks like they're doing pretty well overall. They kept it up. I mean, dude, $20 million a month, that's just an unbelievable amount of money. So I think they're doing great overall, because this is like more along with their averages, right? You have to keep in mind, it kind of depends on the game's like averages, how much they're usually making. This is like around their average or maybe slightly above, but they made it twice in a row. Usually they dip down more. They were dipping down to like 15 million or something. The game did just come out in China recently, so I wonder if that's helping it though. Fate Grand Order, there it is. You know why it went down, guys? Because people are saving their money in Fate Grand Order to spend on Honkai Star. Now, there's probably just like some garbage banner on right now or something, so they don't want to pull, but I don't know. Look, when like BB Dubai came out, this shit was like 100 mil or something, so like, who knows, man, at this point. Okay, number 7. Wait, Naruto Mobile is this low? Dude, this is a Chinese-only Naruto game. By the way, I think it looks terrible. The trailers, though, make it look like the best game of all time. But it's not even in the top 5. What the hell is up here? Number 6, Zenless Zone Zero. 38 million is number 6. Bro, we live in a timeline where Zenless Zone Zero made twice as much as Honkai Star Rail. That's crazy. Oh, it was 2.0. You're right. Yeah, 2.0. I forgot. Still 38 million. Huh. Yeah, so it's the 2.0 plus the anniversary at the same time. Okay, that actually kind of makes sense. Ju Fufu, did anyone pull for her? I have no idea. Okay, no, that's actually totally fair, because Zenless Zone Zero is the least popular of the Hoyoverse, well, the triple Hoyoverse games, you know, the main ones. It's the least popular of those 3. No, this actually seems fair. Yeah, that makes sense. I was shocked for a second that it popped off so hard, but okay, top 5. Now, in the top 5, what are we gonna see? Pokemon TCG is gonna be in there. Love and Deep Space is gonna be in there. We haven't seen Wuthering Waves, so it's gonna be in there. We haven't seen Genshin, it's gonna be in there. That's 4 games. What would the 5th one be? Wait, you're right, a Dragon Ball game. Dragon Ball Legends, I don't think we've seen yet. Let's see number 5. Wuthering Waves. It's so close. It's so close. They're completely different game types, but they're always competing in monetary amounts. So Wuthering Waves, what was this patch? This patch was this was 2.4, right, with Cartethia. Cartethia is like the most hyped up unit in all of Wuthering Waves, more than anybody else. Yeah, I mean, pretty good. Like, Wuthering Waves and ZZZ did really well. I will say though, look, Kurobot energy coming out here for a moment. I will say though, all we had to do was release 1 unit. They are the most hyped up unit in the entire game, but all we had to do was release 1 unit, you know? But you needed a whole anniversary, you know? I'm just saying, I'm just saying, like, Cartethia actually was able to match the whole anniversary and 2.0. Don't forget about the skins. True, there was also 2 incredibly expensive skins. You're right about that. Yizhuan is the 2nd most hyped unit. Yeah, but it's the 2nd most hyped unit for a community that I never see anything about, bro. Look, I'm just saying. Look, I have a bunch of people in my chat that play ZZZ, but nobody ever talks about ZZZ, bro. Like, even the people who play it barely talk about it, man. Oh, but if you go on Rule 34, there are a lot of people talking about it. Like, I'm gonna be real. I've seen a lot of ZZZ outside the game. I will say though, both games did great because normally they're so much lower. I'm looking at the difference in how much they make compared to normal. I think they both did very well. Obviously, I'm proud of my boy Wuthering Waves for doing this well with Cartethia. Turns out hyping up a character that much, it really worked. She was the character. We'll have to see how it is next patch because Lupa. We'll see if it's still popping off or how much. It's gonna go down, but how much it goes down because maybe it's drawing in a lot of new players, we'll see. Zenless Zone Zero though, yeah, big anniversary in 2.0 with Yishuan, like 2nd most hyped up character, did really well. So now we're reaching the top 4. Okay, so I'm gonna guess number 4 is gonna be like that Dragon Ball game? I think that's the thing we're missing out on. Wait, maybe the Dragon Ball game already went by. What the hell is this? 7 Nights Rebirth? Only Korea made 40 million? Who? This is your GOAT? What is this? Huh? I mean, she kind of bad, but like, I don't know anything about this. I'm gonna be real. I'd never played Seven Nights, and I think the game died, but this is like the reboot. So wow, congratulations to this game for going from 25 to 40 million. That's insane. This is just Korea. That's insane. Because normally Korea, like, they spend on gachas. They spend on a lot of games, but not normally gachas as much as some of these other regions. Bro, they're looking like Japan with the amount of spending they're doing on this game. That's insane. Oh my god. 40 million Seven Nights Rebirth. That's insane. Number 3, I'm going to guess Pokemon TCG, then Love and Deep Space, then Genshin. That's gonna be my guess. Let's see. Oh, Skirk. Oh crap, yeah. I'm gonna go Pokemon TCG, Love and Deep Space, then Skirk. Pokemon TCG. From 80 million to 52 million. Bro, being third place with 52 million, a jump from 40 to 52. Oh my god. Love and Deep Space is gonna be like 60. Oh no. Oh my god. How the Mighty Have Fallen. They made a measly $53 million. A measly half of $100 million that month from releasing. Who even knows, bro? Insane. Okay. Genshin banner. I am going to guess that this number is 80 million. The reason is, numbers used to always be way higher, but there's no more COVID, there's way more games to play, all that kind of thing. I'm gonna get, you guys are thinking 70 million? I'm guessing 80 million. Oh. Oh, wait. I thought it would be like way higher. I'm actually kind of surprised. Damn, Paimon VA really hit the game hard, huh? The tariffs. Damn, wait, I'm actually shocked it's not more. I mean, they obviously made like, I mean, not double, but near double from people saving to that, but like, that's really surprising actually. China spent obviously a lot. So that's like $27 million. This is like 25, 26, 27. Wait, they actually spent kind of an equal amount. You have to keep in mind though, this says global, and when people hear global, they're like, oh, that's me in the West. No, what global means is 80% of that money is from Japan, and then the 20% else is from the rest of the world. That's what they actually mean to say. I feel like they should just separate Japan. It's ridiculous. Global just means Japan plus friends. But wow, I'm actually shocked it's not higher. Like, it's obviously higher than stuff like Wuthering Waves, ZZZ, and like, you know, HSR this month, but like, wow. I'm actually really shocked. All numbers are lower than they used to be for these games because there's so much more competition, so many more games out. People inevitably are gonna quit, and also there's no more COVID buff or any of that kind of stuff. But wow. Okay. It's interesting just to look at the trends of some of these games, and Genshin made a lot of money from Skirk, but its trend is overall lower than I would expect, I would say. So I think Hoyoverse right now is probably working in a lab right now, and they're like, dude, we need another pandemic. Like, guys, I don't know, but we're gonna start working on like, bro, I remember back when we were making 130 million a month. We gotta do something about this, man. Making new games ain't working. We need a third party. No, but actually pretty interesting chart. Way different than expected. I would have thought Skirk would have made a lot more. Wua and ZZZ doing actually better than I expected, because 40 million is a lot, and that's not even counting PC revenue. So obviously PC revenue is gonna be lower, but actually very surprised. In the words of the great Ashton Hall, like, we gotta get at least 100 million, and they didn't. I don't know, I was kind of surprised by that. Interesting. Even Love and Deep Space lower, Pokemon TCG Pocket. It could be possible that just a lot of numbers are lower. Like, maybe just all numbers across the board are kind of lower than this month than they could have been. Maybe due to economical things or other stuff. So maybe some of these numbers, maybe all these numbers would have been higher if it was a different time. Who knows? But that's very interesting to see. Well, this was the monthly War Gacha revenue. There were definitely some surprises in here, but that's very interesting to see. The revenue went down, the downloads went up, apparently. Total revenue down 7.5%. It could just be there were worse banners on average this month, or maybe people's money and paychecks were just taking more of a hit or something. Same downloads, basically, but obviously you can't take these numbers that seriously. Yet again, just to reiterate, these numbers are not correct, but they do show an equally incorrect trend, usually each month. I don't know if every single game is correctly incorrect every single month, but it is interesting to see, of course. Well, thanks for joining me on this adventure through another month of war. I guess we'll see what happens next month.